Good morning, Wright State University, and welcome to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU. Start your day the right way with us. We will be covering current events in the news, local, national, and from Wright State. We will provide a daily dose of inspiration and positivity to lighten your day. And we will have a special feature depending on the day of the week. So grab your tea or your coffee, sit back, relax, and enjoy the Wright Morning Show. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. It is Tuesday, June 29th, 2021, 9 a.m. In the studio with me this morning, I have Scotty Kramer. How are you doing this morning?
A little tired, but as always, good to be here, man.
Yeah, I'm a little tired as well. And it looks like it's just going to be the two of us today.
Dynamic duo here at the station,
most of our regular guests are out sick today. So it's just you and me today. So we're going to go ahead and get right into our current events for today. A new emergency room is planned to be built in Beaver Creek, and this is from the Dayton Daily News. Premier Health is planning to build a new emergency department in Beaver Creek. The new 14,000 square foot department will be built at 2400 Lakeview Drive, which is where Premier Health opened an outpatient medical building in December of 2019. The project will come with 55 jobs, and patients will be able to stay for observation for less 24 hours. I think there was a typo there.
There's always a typo in these articles we read, man. Every day, I swear.
The health system expects to break ground on the project in July and open in the spring of 2022. The City Council approved the project yesterday night following a public hearing and the recommendation of the Planning Commission. You can read more at DaytonDailyNews.com if you have a subscription.
Yeah, right.
From WHIO, crews extinguish a house fire in Beaver Creek. The cause is under investigation. Beaver Creek fire crews are investigating the cause of a house fire that happened early yesterday morning. Beaver Creek Dispatch tells News Center 7 that crews responded to a reported fire on Park Overlook Drive just before 4 a.m. Assistant Chief's misspelled, John Merckx with Beaver Creek Fire tells the crews that 3 occupants of the house had evacuated. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but Merck tells us a lit candle may have been a factor. Oh, you know what probably happened? A cat probably knocked
honestly.
it over.
I tell you what, with all these typos, man, I feel like I could, if I took a little bit of a journalism route, I could get a job pretty easily.
Yeah, if you're good in English.
I'm pretty good. I make a lot of press releases for a lot of classes I do, so I feel like that's something I could do for a company in the future.
Yeah. The Holy Grail lost ship search, we talked about that yesterday. There's this ship that has been missing for a long time, and somebody from Dayton helped discover it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wasn't here yesterday, so I didn't hear it.
Yeah, it's a ship that disappeared in Lake Michigan.
Okay. I was thinking like in the sea or something, and they were like out on vacation or whatever.
From WHIO, a mass food distribution is taking place at Dixie Twin Drive-In. The food bank is hosting the distribution for all Miami Valley residents from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. today.
Nice.
Anyone who would like to go to the distribution should drive through the drive-in entrance. There, they will receive fresh produce, dairy items, chicken, and other food products free of charge, a release stated from the food bank. The Montgomery County Public Health Department will be offering free COVID-19 vaccines as well during the event. CareSource, in collaboration with other 4 Ohio managed care plans and Dayton Children's Hospital, are sponsoring the event and will be there to help pass out the food. Here are some events happening in Dayton from DaytonLocal.com. Give me just a second to load the site. Here we go. On Saturday, July 3rd, we have the Revolutionists 4 badass women taking on the French Revolution. The Revolutionist is streaming June the 23rd to July 4th on Broadway on demand. Brian Moggin strove to find the essential character and energy of his subjects. This posthumous show includes woven textiles, figurative sculptures, and drawings, and that is on Saturday, July 3rd at it says 12:05 a.m. I don't think that's right.
Man, I tell you what.
It is 111 Corey Street, Yellow Springs, Ohio, if you want to attend that. I still don't know what the correct time is on that.
It's for third shift people like me, man. Come on.
Paris Flea Market at Dixie Drive-In. Buy, sell, and trade. Toys, tools, home, decor, kitchenwares, clothes, crafts, and more. Plus, get locally grown fresh produce at low, low prices. That's this Saturday, July the 3rd. It says 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's the time. 6201 North Dixie in Dayton, Ohio. There is a small admission fee. There's also the Sydney Farmers Market at 8 a.m. on Saturday, July 3rd. The Great Downtown Sydney Farmers Market. Fresh produce, baked goods, jams, jellies, plants, flowers, and crafts are offered. There's also the Yellow Springs Farmers Market on July 3rd at 8 a.m. 2nd Street Outdoor Market at 9 a.m. on Saturday. Downtown Franklin Farmers Market, Saturday, 9 a.m. Greenville Farmers Market, Saturday, 9 a.m. Oakwood Farmers Market, Saturday, 9 a.m. I'm going to be honest with you. It's good to see all of these markets.
Yeah.
Then there's the Ohio Jeep Fest on Saturday at 9 a.m. Ohio Jeep Fest at the beautiful Ross County Fairgrounds. So be sure to check that out if you're into Jeeps.
What's that? Jeep?
Let's see. Jeeps, yeah.
Okay, I
the
thought
car.
you said G, like Jeet.
Oh,
I was like, what the heck is that?
It's
Jeep. Okay.
It's another form of eating.
Yeah, right. No, I had no idea what you were saying. I'm like, what? I'm like, what the heck is that? Tells you how tired I am, man. I can't hear. I need a hearing aid today.
Riverscape Bike Rentals. Rent a variety of bikes and child attachments to explore their incredible bikeway network. Saturdays and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. through Labor Day weekend. There's a bunch more events that you could check out. Just go to DaytonLocal.com.
Yo, have you, just out of curiosity, Pat, have you seen those bikes that you can, like, ride around the big cities and stuff, and you, like, check them out and, like, just put them back in, like, a different location to get around town and stuff?
The Link bikes?
Yeah, and they're, like, other scooters, like electric scooters or bikes and stuff.
Yeah, I forget the company name for the scooters, but yeah, I've seen those.
Have you, I was just curious, since you ride your bike, I didn't know if you've ever used that before.
No, I've always been using my own bicycle.
When I was in New York City, man, people used that stuff this is about 2 years ago. People used it like crazy, man. Like, that's how people get around New York City, at least.
I was going to say, like,
I know they have it in Dayton, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
at least I've heard of it going to Dayton.
Yeah,
that was years ago, so I assume by now they have it up.
Yeah, but I was going to say in New York City, I mean, that makes sense that a lot of people use it because...
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
you're
not allowed to drive in New York City, are you? Because you have to take a taxi or a bus wherever you go.
You can drive in New York City. We drove
Okay.
in it. Yeah, I drove in there. I wasn't, like, obviously, like, right there in Times Square. No, you can drive in it. It's just people don't want to.
True.
It's a pain in the butt. That's least to say. That's an understatement.
From WHIO, Ohio Task Force 1 is remaining in alert status for the deployment to Florida. A local search and rescue team remains on alert status for deployment as the ongoing search and rescue efforts at the building collapse in Florida continues. Ohio Task Force 1 first received the official notification on Thursday from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Phil Sinewe, S-I-N-E-W-E, I'm not entirely sure how to say that name, with OHTF-1 says the alert means that they need to start taking the final steps to be fully prepared to respond. And as of right now, Sinewe says all indications are that Florida is managing the incident with mainly in-state resources. So that's fairly good to hear, although there's still a lot of people unaccounted for in that collapse, which we'll get into that once we cover global and national news.
I remember we talked about this on Friday. Heck, I didn't even know about it, so I was here on the morning show. It was crazy.
Yeah. There's a Center City building facing foreclosure, but the owner says that taxes will be paid, according to Dayton Daily News. Free HIV testing is available in Dayton today, according to WDTN. Dayton Montgomery County is hosting a free drive-through HIV testing event today in honor of National HIV Testing Day. Testing will be done in the parking lot of Charles Drew Health Center on West 3rd Street from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You could get your results in just 20 minutes.
Wow.
COVID-19 vaccines are also available, and public health said that nearly 40% of new HIV infections are spread by people who do not know they have the virus.
Oh.
So the best way to limit the spread is by getting tested.
Yeah, I know Wright State, back my freshman year, they offered free testing at some point. I don't know if it was like year-round or what, but I know it was offered here at Wright State at one point, and hopefully Wright State gives students that option when we start the new school year.
Yeah. So some good news and bad news, unfortunately. We talked yesterday about a girl who disappeared in the Mad River near Eastwood Metro Park yesterday. According to WHIO, the body of the 9-year-old girl was recovered yesterday morning after a search spanning over 2 days on the Mad River near Eastwood Park. Nora Cal 9 of Dayton was identified as the victim pulled from the water Monday, Montgomery County Coroner Dr. Kent Harshberger said. Cal's cause and manner of death are still under investigation and have not been officially determined. Witnesses said that Cal had been swimming in the river Saturday afternoon when she went under the water and swept downstream.
Yep.
Following days of searching, the girl's body was found at around 11 a.m. on Monday, about 2,000 feet downstream from where she was last seen swimming. A Dayton Fire Department boat crew located the body of the victim downstream from the location that the victim was first reported. Dayton Fire Captain Brad French told News Center 7's John Fidel Monday. Why do I keep getting the sources confused today? I'm tired, just like you are.
Yeah, right. No, our brains. It's Monday for me, but Tuesday for you. But it's still Monday mentally.
Our primary concern lies with the family. Our hearts really go out to the family of the 9-year-old girl. So you can read more about this incident at WHIO. What I want to know, and I was talking about this with somebody yesterday, is where were the parents when this happened?
Who knows? I'm not
because
saying.
She was not the only children who was playing by the river when this happened. So the original report shows that about up to 7 children were swimming at this location at the time that the girl was swept downstream. Let me see here if there's anything about the family or the parents or anything.
They're probably getting a lot of heat right now.
It just says the incident is being investigated by Metro Parks Police, but additional details about the investigation were not released. So it sounds like they know something, or at least think they know something, but they're not certain enough to release the details yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no mention of the parents other than, feeling sorry for their loss.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, where were they?
I wouldn't want to make. I don't know who they are, so I don't want to make any assumptions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just a question. I'm not saying anything.
No.
I'm just curious about that.
I'm with you. No, I would ask the same question. I hear you.
From Dayton.com, representation matters. The Neon hosts film series spotlighting Dayton's Black-owned businesses. An art collective based in Dayton will be celebrating Black storytelling with the movie series at the Neon in July. Held on Thursdays, the movie series will include showings of Just Mercy, selected by the Dayton Young Black Professionals on July 8th, Paid in Full, selected by Akenlo on July 15th, and The Wood, selected by Ted, the epitome of dope, on July 22nd. The Dayton Young Black Professionals works to empower young Black professionals in West Dayton and in Dayton as a whole through after-school programs, health fairs, scholarships, and other charitable events. Akenlo, a fashion brand created by Ken Lo, sells thought-provoking t-shirts. Ted, the epitome of dope, is a clothing brand created by artist Dave Scott. Scott previously created the mural on the Oregon District Bridge. I'm sorry, Just a lot of typos today in these articles.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I
Must
can
be
be a
Typo
journalist.
Tuesday.
Yeah, right. That's a good one.
Let's see here. Springfield News Song. Central State University is to get DoD funding for research. Central State University in Greene County is one of 70 colleges and universities that will receive part of a $30.4 million U.S. Department of Defense research grant. Awards range up to $600,000 and will support the acquisition of equipment at 32 historically black colleges and universities, 37 minority-serving institutions, and one tribal college, according to a news release. U.S. Representative Mike Turner said the awards were part of the fiscal year 2021 DoD Historically Black Colleges and Universities and Minority-Serving Institutions Research and Education Program. That is a long name. Turner said HBCUs are among some of the top research institutions in the U.S. and play a crucial role in expanding research opportunities to minority communities. You can read more at springfieldnewssung.com. From Dayton Daily News, Wright Patterson is to oversee a possible $2.4 billion F-16 sale to the Philippines. You can read about that at Dayton Daily News. Interesting. But $2.4 billion for an F-16?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
That's a lot. Like, holy heck.
I don't know much about planes, though.
Yeah. More than 28,000 open jobs are available in the Dayton region. The Dayton Business Journal has an article about who's hiring the most, and you could check that out if you're looking for a job.
Right now would be a great time to look into that.
Yeah. The employers need people to fill
Yeah, you
up.
see a lot of these fast food places that needed workers really bad during the pandemic. Post-pandemic here, they made the starting wage from minimum wage to like $12-13 an hour just because they needed people really bad.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, from what I've heard at least, a lot of people just wouldn't work because they could get the COVID and like unemployment benefits and stuff, and they would make more then than they would from working their fast food jobs or whatever jobs they would have. And that's why they raise the price of their starting wage so people actually come and work for them. Like I said, man, I wish that was around when I was 16. Throwing the minimum wage up like that. I think McDonald's hires at like $13.50 an hour now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think they hired at like $9 an hour back before minimum wage got raised up to 9.
Yeah. From WDTN, 2 people are in the hospital after being shot this morning in Dayton. Dayton police were called to the shooting outside a home on the 200 block of Fernwood Avenue at 2:20 this morning. When police arrived, they found 2 people who were both shot in the hand. Both were taken to the hospital for treatment. Officials say it is unclear what led up to the shooting and did not release any suspect information. 2 News will update the story as they learn more. From WHIO, Dayton International Airport has an increase in flight availability ahead of 4th of July travel. The skyways are quickly filling up with millions of Americans looking for a 4th of July getaway, and airports are having to work through the strong increase in customers. Flight vendors, including the Dayton International Airport, are trying to get employee rosters back to pre-pandemic levels.
Yep.
During the pandemic, some long-term pilots chose to retire. Staff members chose other jobs.
Come on, Pat.
Why can't I talk today?
Oh, man.
And less planes were in the sky. These are all things the airport is now working to correct as they get back into business and the number of flights increase. Linda Hughes, Dayton International Airport spokeswoman, says that the airport is managing to put up about 35 planes per day, and they're optimistic about keeping those numbers up and available for passengers coming in from around the Miami Valley looking for a seat to their summer destination. All potential seats between Friday and Monday, July 5th is approximately 9,000. And from 9,000 seats, we anticipate 90% should be passengers coming through flying out, Hughes said. As a reminder to travelers, the Dayton International Airport still has a mandatory mask policy in place. I wouldn't blame them. Dayton International Airport, not so much because it's not that crowded over there. But especially like other airports like Chicago O'Hare or the Franklin, what is it? The Franklin Rose, or no, the John F. Kennedy Airport. That's the one I'm thinking of.
I think it's Washington, right?
Yeah. They got huge crowds over there. And
Bro,
so
I don't
I
even
can
carry
understand.
a mask with me anymore since I'm fully vaxxed. I just don't even have them. So if there's a place that needs a mask worn, I can't do it because I don't have one.
Oof.
But nothing here in the Dayton area usually requires one anyway, so no big deal to me.
Yeah. All right, let's go now on to some global and national news. First, we're going to go to CrowdPack, the social network for politics. Specifically, I want to cover the National Hurricane Center is tracking 2 disturbances in the tropics. They said that an area of low pressure associated with the tropical wave is located over the eastern tropical Atlantic Ocean, about 600 miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. It is producing a small area of showers and thunderstorms, and the system could slowly develop further into the week, moving west and then west-northwest.
I told Bailey on Free Talk Friday when he moves down to Florida, man, he's going to have to deal with hurricanes. Of course, when people think of Florida, they think sunshine and rainbows, man, but it's a lot of rain during hurricane season.
Yeah. A 35-year-old man is in serious condition after a great white shark attack in California, authorities said. The incident occurred around 9:15 a.m. this weekend on Saturday while the man was bodyboarding and skin diving, authorities said. The man was swimming off of Gray Whale Cove State Beach in San Mateo County when he was bitten in the right leg by a 6 through 8 foot great white shark, according to the local sheriff's office.
Scary. I'm not like afraid of sharks, but like I remember my first time ever going into the ocean. I was a little bit nervous, even though I didn't like go to like deep in the water, man. Like sharks can sometimes get pretty close to the water, and I remember there was this one time I was down in Daytona in Florida, and there were lifeguards had to get the people out of the water because there was a shark, and I could see its fin from the beach. I was pretty shaken up. I was like, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, sharks won't really get at you. I mean, unless they smell blood or I maybe if they feel threatened. I don't quote me on that, but
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
I know there's like 7 shark attacks on humans per year.
Yeah,
Some statistic like that.
if
It's
I
not
recall
much.
correctly, you're much more likely to get struck by lightning than bit by a shark.
Yeah, been close struck by lightning.
But also, on a less grim statistic, from what I hear, the odds of dying from a lightning strike are only 1 in 7. So 6 out of 7 times you will survive a lightning strike, from what I hear. That doesn't mean you won't suffer complications, of course, but...
Oh, yeah, that would hurt, at least to say. I'll just turn into Iron Man or something, man. I'll just become some type of superhero. I'll get
start
that, like,
shocking everybody when you touch them.
It'll be like when you rub your feet on the carpet with socks on, right? It's gonna be like me all the time. I'm gonna have like lightning out of my fingers, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be a superhero, or I could be a supervillain.
True.
So I need to be struck by lightning. I gotta wait for the day to come. It's gotta come eventually, right?
Security robots are expanding across the U.S. We've had issues with gun rings, drive-by shootings, robberies, and assaults. We're talking everything. So earlier this year, Westland introduced a broader program to reduce crime and added an autonomous security robot manufactured by Nightscope, a Silicon Valley company, to make the complex safer. Each robot is given a nickname, and the one roaming around Liberty Village is called Westy.
Westy. That kind of reminds me of the robots in Fallout 76 that kind of work as the security people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know anything about Fallout, but that's what it reminded me of.
Let's see here. From some headlines from the New York Times. A federal judge appointed by Barack Obama dismissed the federal and state antitrust suits against Facebook, a victory for the company. The ruling suggests that a bipartisan push to regulate technology companies may require new legislation. The winners of Washington's scrutiny... Oh, that's just an article link. We're going to skip that. The COVID vaccines from Pfizer and Moderna may provide immunity for several years, scientists say. Mixing Pfizer and AstraZeneca vaccines, 1 dose of each, also provides strong suggestion, according to a study. Droughts are strangling California's farms, and one farmer says it's now more lucrative to resell water than to grow crops. That's sad when you can make more by selling water than growing crops.
I remember when I went to California to see my family out in Sacramento, and they weren't allowed to have like their sprinkler for their yard on for longer than like a certain amount of time, or they'd get in trouble by the city and stuff like that. That's how bad it is over there. I feel terrible for people out there. You know what? Isn't it crazy to think like the difference in cost of living in some of these states? Like, bro,
yeah, California is
it's
vastly expensive.
It's like $6 if not more for a gallon of gas.
Yeah.
Like, man, that's crazy. And I mean, we sit here in Ohio and complain about gas prices. Bro, look at them. I mean, of course, they probably make a bit more than us just due to the
they
area.
got more lucrative jobs over there.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that's crazy.
How weird is the record heat of the past few days in the Pacific Northwest? There are some charts that show you. The New York Times has some charts that you could check out. The NCAA leaders recommend new rules that would allow college athletes to profit from endorsements. And we talked about this.
Yep.
Rescue crews at the collapsed Miami condo are digging through concrete boulders, hoping to find hints of the living. 8 months after the Ethiopian army attacked Tigray, the civil war has taken a turn. Tigrayan fighters are retaking control of the regional capital. The Supreme Court declined to hear a case involving school bathrooms, effectively siding with a transgender boy who wanted to use the boy's room. North Korea's leader, Kim Jong-un, has lost weight and no one knows why.
Why is that even news?
I don't know why that's news. In the Euro 2020 soccer tournament, Spain beat Croatia and Switzerland beat France. Thrilling matches that went into
Switzerland
extra
beat
time.
France? France is one of the heavy hitters over there this year. I'm surprised. A lot of people thought France were going to go pretty much all the way.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
From Cheddar News Need to Know. From Oregonian. Olympic trials were halted in Eugene, roads buckled in Seattle, and streetcar cables melted in Portland, where the mercury hit 116 on Monday for the city's third all-time record in as many days. The heat wave that has enveloped the Pacific Northwest is among the most intense anywhere ever. Temps are finally starting to cool off, but if barely, but it will remain unseasonably warm throughout the holiday weekend.
Wow. Usually up there it's just raining. Every time I think of the Northwest, I just think of rain, honestly.
Clouds and rain, yeah.
Yeah, especially Seattle over in Washington, man. That's the rain city, man.
From Wesh, Tropical Storm Danny made landfall along the South Carolina coast hours before it was upgraded to the fourth named storm of the season. The system is already back down to tropical depression status as it drenches the southeast today. Can't we send some of that rain to California?
Yeah, right. They need it more than anybody. How about all the rain we've had recently? We've had it quite a bit.
Yeah. We're about to get more, which, by the way, your weather forecast is coming up in a few minutes. From Miami Herald, there are still more questions than answers in the Surfside condo collapse, where the death toll has risen to 11, with 150 people still missing. But new information suggests that the Champlain Towers was known to be in serious disrepair at the time it came down. The condo board reportedly asked residents in April to pay $15 million in assessments for structural problems, while a contractor who visited the pool area just 2 days before the collapse says he was struck by the cracked concrete and standing water he saw in the garage and pool equipment room. From Reuters, the mRNA vaccines are so good at producing an immune response against COVID that they may not require boosters at all. Scientists reported that the vaccines made by Pfizer and Moderna could offer protection for years, so long as the virus does not mutate more than it already has. Another study of Britain found that mixing and matching the Pfizer and AstraZeneca vaccines in either order appears to work almost as well as a two-shot Pfizer regimen. That finding could be key for places where vaccine shipments are late or delayed, or for people who were told not to get the full AstraZeneca regimen because of the risk of blood clots. From the Associated Press, the government of Ethiopia has declared an immediate ceasefire in the violent civil war that has been raging in its Tigray region for the last 8 months. The halting of hostilities come as rebels overtook the regional capital. Hundreds of thousands of people in Tigray are suffering in the midst of the world's most famine, and the ceasefire will allow humanitarian aid to finally get delivered. We talked about the federal judge tossing the government's antitrust lawsuit against Facebook, according to the FTC. Didn't make sufficient legal claims in its argument that Facebook was a monopoly. The judge did give the government 30 days to refile the suit, but the decision amounted to a huge win for Facebook and big tech as the industry faces a regulatory crackdown. Facebook shares soared on the news, leading the NASDAQ to an all-time high. Facebook is now worth more than $1 trillion. I don't like Facebook. Personally, and my views do not reflect the views and opinions of Wright State University, WWSU Radio, or their entities. But I don't see Facebook as being a monopoly because we still got other major social networks.
It's not a monopoly. I agree with you. I hate Facebook too, though. I think Facebook is the devil.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, you have all these people who are always fighting on there, this and that. And then all the cancer that's on there. And you got millions of advertisements, millions of dollars being thrown in. I mean, I know people that use Instagram way more than Facebook, or don't even have a Facebook but have an Instagram, or have a Snapchat but don't have a Facebook, you know. Facebook
I don't have any of that.
See, Facebook is viewed more now as like an older person social media because it was like the first big one to come out, other than I guess like MySpace.
Yeah.
But like, most people are using like Instagram and Snapchat now, so it's kind of you have all the. It's probably still the most users I would say on a regular basis because you have these people that are like, I would say probably about people that are like 20 plus.
Yeah.
You have like these 60, 70-year-olds. You have all these boomers that are on there, and I mean, no offense, but there's some people, that are not the smartest on Facebook that are super old, and I look at their stuff and I'm like, man, you really shouldn't have social media. But no, that's where they get all their money from. They have billions of users, not billions, but you know what I mean. They have a bunch of users. They have like millions of users, probably half a billion.
I wouldn't doubt it's in the billions at this point.
I would. Well, you gotta think of like countries that are poor and everything that don't have access to technology. I would say probably like 1 to 2 billion.
I think it's
maybe three, but like I don't know. But anyways,
that's an interesting stat. Let me check here.
It's just Facebook has the most users because it's very diverse and.
Oh gosh, you are right.
About 3 billion.
2.7 billion.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that high.
No, it has a bunch of old people on there, and young people still make Facebooks and everything just to like connect with their families or whatever. And Facebook tries to adapt. Like they have a marketplace now to where you can sell stuff, and they have like dating and all this other stuff. But primarily like when you follow like celebrities, back in the day it would mainly be through Facebook. Now it's mainly through like Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like I said, it's more of an older person thing. Not to sound like a young kid that I am, but that's true. It's more towards older adults. Obviously, Instagram is more reflected towards younger people. Same with Snapchat, etc. And then that's why they're the biggest because you have more older people than younger people. So
yeah,
that's why they're gonna be seen more as a monopoly, I guess. But they're not.
It's not like despite their extremely high user count, there's still options that people can easily go to.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say within the next 20 to 30 years, we will see more users. I wouldn't say more exactly, but almost the same amount of users on Instagram as Facebook. And Facebook, they own Instagram, which I guess that's where you get the monopoly idea, where they can't compete to where they have to sell their stuff to Facebook, and Facebook just runs everything. But Snapchat's still its own company. They have a bunch of stuff. They have a bunch of users. I mean, TikTok, we've seen that social media blow up. I mean, Vine 2.0, right?
And get banned for a very short period of time.
Yeah, I forgot all about that, honestly. But no, you have all these social medias that are getting big. Obviously, you got Twitter, too, which is a big competitor to Facebook, and Facebook/Instagram. It's not a monopoly. It's just dominant from the older folk.
Yeah. All right, if there's anybody you want to target in terms of monopolies, like go after Google because Google is acquiring a whole lot of different companies.
When it comes to technology side of things, monopolies, definitely. Google is a giant one. I mean, who the hell uses Bing? Do you use Bing? No.
Sometimes.
Yeah, okay, I'm surprised.
I've
used Bing a few times. That's it.
I will say, personally, I think Bing image search is superior to Google image search, but
I wouldn't know that.
Google is superior to finding information.
Yeah, Google's very. Yeah, I mean, search browsers are always user friendly, but like Google's just, that's one of the first ones to come out, right? One of the first search engines, and then it went on to having its own, browser, and you name it, it runs everything. It's associated with YouTube. They work with YouTube. They work with every company. So I definitely agree that if there is a company in the technology industry that is viewed as monopolizing, Google would probably be one of the top ones, if not the top one. They're crazy.
Google and Apple are the two big.
I love Google, so I do gotta give them a shout out though.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
Like,
Google's helped me out, especially a lot in school.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Google's not an Apple. We'll put it that way. I mean, they can get a little pricey with some of their, Pixel products, things like that. But they're definitely not an Apple where they monopolize all of the hardware and the components.
I will say this: never buy a Chromebook.
Things.
Never buy a Chromebook. Never. Don't buy a Chromebook. That's coming from the IT side of me. I know with the IT job I have here on campus that a lot of my issues with some of my clients have been due to the fact that they've had a Chromebook and they can't install certain programs because of, how restricted their operating system would be.
Yeah, because Chromebook can only run Chrome OS apps and Android apps. You can't run Windows apps on
Exactly,
Chromebook.
And that's what screws people over because they sit there and think, oh, I can use this computer for basically anything, and then they buy it, and it's like, well, I'm screwed. I've had so many clients get like really irritated with me, and I'm like, it's not my fault that you bought this computer. It's not like I recommended you to buy a Chromebook. I'm like, I would never recommend a Chromebook.
Mm-hmm.
No. But no, with the search engine, no, Google's amazing, but their devices, I mean, the only device I've ever used was maybe, I haven't like personally had their phone, but I've like messed with it. Their phones seem pretty cool from what I've seen, but other than that, I don't think I've really cared for any of their devices that they've come out. Not that I can think of at the moment.
Yeah. And the NCAA, according to the CNN, is on the verge of allowing players to make money off their name, image, and likeness after an advisory panel recommended that student athletes be allowed to profit off of endorsement deals, autographs, social media appearances, and more.
It's amazing.
Yeah, the NCAA's board of directors need to sign off on the deal, which is expected to be done tomorrow. So we may hear as soon as tomorrow or the next day whether or not college athletes can start profiting from being an athlete.
Yeah, I mean, they're sit there and they're being broadcasted live on ESPN and all these other sporting networks and everything, and they're not getting paid for it. They're literally paying to go to school. Well, I mean, a lot of them are there on scholarships and
I was going to say scholarships, but scholarships have no tie in with the
that's
the
given
media
by the
and things like that. Yeah.
That's provided through the university. That's nothing to do with any type of endorsement.
Yeah, so I'm with them. The media should give compensation to the college athletes
because they're
for their
sitting there
likeness.
interviewing them and doing all this stuff, taking up their time. They're, looking to use this as a career and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're still college kids. They can use the money. And, I mean, they're sitting there putting their abilities on display for the whole world to see. Like, why would you not think they should get compensated? Just because it's a part of the rules? No, I mean, change the rules like they're doing now. I'm very excited to see this happen. I'm happy to see it. Like, obviously, I'm not a college athlete. Look at me, bro. I'm 5'8" and, like 160 pounds. I'm a small dude. But, no, I love seeing these guys getting paid, possibly getting paid, that is, which, more than likely it'll get passed. But it's good to see change, for real.
Yeah. From NBC Sports, Wimbledon is back in action after a year's hiatus, and the Americans came out swinging. French Open runner-up Stefanos Tsitsipas was knocked out the first round by Francis Tiafoe in a stunner. On the women's side, Sloane Stephens took a two-time Wimbledon champ Petra Kvitova in an equally stunning upset. Serena Williams placed today as she chases her 24th Grand Slam. From CBS Sports, Switzerland knocked world champion and overwhelming favorite France out of the Euro 2020 on penalty kicks, one of two incredible matches in the knockout stage at the European soccer tournament. Earlier, Spain rallied in extra time after blowing a 2-goal advantage against Croatia in another wild match. Germany and England face off today. All right, that concludes the current events. We're running a little overtime here.
Almost 10 minutes. Yeah, we had a little bit of discussion, but, that's how it is when I'm here, Pat. I like to talk a lot.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break. a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to get into your weather forecast and Wright State news. You're listening to the Raider Network.
Pat,
you're listening to
what?
WWSU.
No. Hold on. What was that?
I had no idea.
What was that? Raider Network. What? Come on. Send it to break.
You're listening to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. Stick around.
Hey everyone, check out Rush Week 2021, presented by Alpha Sig Eta Psi here on campus.
Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. Welcome back to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM, or as we are now known as the Raider Network, apparently.
Oh, man, that was great.
Let's get into your weather forecast, shall we? The current weather at Wright State University, brought to you by Tomorrow.io, is mostly clear, and it's already 85 degrees out there.
Oh, man, when I walked in the doors, I felt like I was getting sunburn already. I'm like,
yeah.
Holy heck, man, this is crazy. Like, when I leave here after the show, I'm probably going to come back, later in the week just, like, completely dark.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. It really is.
The heat index is 89 degrees. The wind is coming from the south-southwest at 3 miles per hour. The humidity is 61%. The dew point is 70 degrees. It is muggy as well out there. The visibility is 10 miles and the air quality is good. The weather forecast for the next 12 hours calls for mostly clear skies up until about 1:15 this afternoon, and then some clouds are going to roll in and increase as the day progresses. According to Tomorrow.io, I believe we're in for a chance of showers, too. We'll have to check the National Weather Service forecast. The temperatures are going to approach 90 degrees by 12 p.m., and then 94 for our high at 5 p.m., and then start cooling off after 7 p.m. today.
94 is that what you said?
That's what it says, yeah.
Well, good thing I'll be asleep with my AC unit on.
Now let's go to the National Weather Service and see what they say. From Wright-Patterson Air Force Base today, sunny with a chance of thunderstorms developing this afternoon, high around 90. So they're predicting it's not going to get that high.
Yeah, we'll see.
Tonight, a chance of thunderstorms tapering off to some showers overnight, low in the lower 70s. Wednesday, showers, high in the mid-80s. Wednesday night, showers, low around 70. Thursday, showers, but much cooler, thankfully.
Good.
High in the upper 70s. Thursday night, a chance of thunderstorms in the evening with mostly cloudy skies overnight. Low in the lower 60s, so you may be able to open up your windows and turn the AC unit off on Thursday night.
Nice.
Friday, mostly cloudy in the morning with a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon, high in the upper 70s. Friday night, partly cloudy, low around 60. Saturday, a chance of showers in the morning with a chance of thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high around 80. Saturday night, a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the evening, tapering off to showers overnight. Showers and mostly cloudy skies with a low around 60. And then finally, Independence Day. It's mostly sunny, so good grilling weather with a high around 80. That is your forecast. Let's now go to some Wings announcements. First off, CS 1300, Data Science for Everyone. This is a new one. Science General Education course for fall semester 2021, an Introduction to Data Science. The algorithms and processes for preparing and analyzing data, generating predictions, and extracting relationships from data. The course presents fundamentals of decision analytics, data mining, and machine learning. There's no prior programming experience required for the course. You will develop all mathematical ideas needed during the class. So you'll get an introductory survey of basic components of data science, data visualization, machine learning, analysis of social networks, hands-on lab experience to analyze the data. For more information, you can contact the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at 937-775-5131. With the entire world affected by the pandemic, public health is on everyone's mind. The public health field benefits the lives of many people in every walk of life. We invite you to discover whether the exciting career field might be right for you. The open house is July 6th from noon to 12:30 p.m. There is a registration link on your Wings account if you are interested in attending. Calling all freshmen and sophomores, the Freshman Outdoor Orientation Trip is a unique wilderness experience that will take place the week before school begins. Trained upperclassmen lead backpacking trips along the Appalachian Trail in Tennessee. Foot offers an amazing opportunity for incoming students to meet a small group of new classmates and establish relationships with older student leaders. You will hike, camp, cook outdoors, play games, swim in waterfalls, and spend a day giving back to the mountains by learning how to build and maintain hiking trails. These trips are designed for all levels of experience. No prior backpacking experience is necessary. Now open to both incoming freshmen and sophomores who missed out on a classic intro to college in 2020. This will be August 11th to the 18th. The cost will include transportation, trip leaders, equipment, permit fees, camping fees, and all meals are served on location. You could go to your Wings account to register if you are interested. Do you think engineering isn't for you? This class may change your mind. ISE 1110, Introduction to Engineering Science Applications for All. The course focuses on getting students excited about engineering science and introduces students to science, technology, and their roles in society. It provides active learning, team-based application of the foundations of engineering science to real-world practice. It says real word practice in here, another typo. The primary application focus is in examples from industrial and systems engineering, including project management, operations management, organizational performance, and facilities engineering. A reminder that the systems will be unavailable from June 30th, 6 p.m. June 30th until 1 a.m. July 1st. Those services include Wings Express, Banner Admin, Parking Services, Wright One Card Services, Wright Buy, Payments at Salesforce, Student Onboarding in Salesforce, and all online payments. All right, so that is the latest with campus announcements. Let's go to campus news here. We don't have anything from the Guardian today. We do have one thing from the Wright State Newsroom. Lake Campus will bolster its training programs in business and advanced manufacturing through a new workforce development center. Lake Campus plans to expand its existing business enterprise center into the Workforce Development Center, adding about 10,000 square feet of additional space to the campus. The larger Workforce Development Center will allow Lake Campus to expand its advanced manufacturing and robotics programs and offer more credentials, certificates, and apprenticeship opportunities. The expansion is going to allow us to offer more not for credit training that we currently have capacity to offer and allows us to more efficiently and effectively help with the training of our degree seeking engineering students, said Dan Crane, PhD, interim dean of the Lake campus. The Workforce Development Center is expected to become fully operational in 2024. The expanded center and its additional programs will help the Lake campus meet the workforce needs for skilled technical employees in West Central Ohio. Advanced manufacturing makes up a substantial amount of the economy in Mercer, Auglaize, Stark, and Shelby counties, which are at the core of the region that Lake campus serves, Crane said. Growth in manufacturing indices in Mercer and Auglaize counties is projected to continue at an annual rate of 10% for at least the next 10 years. The Workforce Development Center will include flexible lab space as well as industrial areas and space for mechanical, electrical, pneumatics, and hydraulics, robotics, automation systems, and 3D printing. In addition, the center will offer an area to showcase the products and processes of the campus sponsoring manufacturers. Lake Campus Career Services will be integrated into the Workforce Development Center, providing networking opportunities with potential employers and helping students to connect to local employers for internships, co-ops, and experiential learning opportunities. And the Business Enterprise Center provides comprehensive counseling and management training to new and existing businesses in the region by promoting and supporting entrepreneurs with advanced business consultants. The center also provides advanced technical training in specialized areas of manufacturing with a blend of online classes and hands-on labs. It offers 2 state-approved apprenticeships in tool and die and industrial maintenance in collaboration with local employers. Its Skills Track program is a comprehensive industrial maintenance training program for full-time adult workers. Tech Cred programs are offered in fundamental maintenance technology, industrial skills technology, and automation and system integration technology. And the expanded space will also allow the Lake campus to fully utilize equipment for additive manufacturing and robotics training that it purchased with the Ohio Department of Higher Education funds. There is more to this article. You can read it at webapp2.wright.edu if you want to check that out. So, Scotty, do you want to give a stock update?
As always, man. Yeah, let me go ahead and pull up Robinhood real quick. So yesterday, BlackBerry went up about 5% from its little dip that it had. Currently valued at $12.46. Obviously, the market just opened up. Went down about 0.7%, or actually went down about 2.5%. From my earnings, that is. Going to go ahead and talk about some big ones per usual. Tesla sitting at about 682. Looks like it's kind of going up and down at the moment, so nothing big going on there. Snap's going. It shot about $4 since last week, so that's pretty good. If you're investing in Snapchat, good for you. You got a little bit of cash there. It'll probably stick up. Snapchat's always growing. Apple 135 had a little bit of a spike this morning going up, so that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Microsoft's in about 269. Disney dipping down to about 175. Let me go ahead and find some more here. Workhorse is sitting at about 1760. GameStop, the meme stock, starting to go down a little bit. It was at about 300 about a month ago. It's gone down about 200 now. So it's gone down a bit. Hasn't made any noise at all. Not much has changed recently. Obviously, I haven't talked since last week about it. You've had a few ups and downs. Nothing big that I've seen recently. The current price, of Bitcoin sitting at about 36K. And we'll go ahead and pull up the meme coin, Dogecoin, which a lot of people invested in. Starting to go back on a rise a little bit. It looks like people are starting to throw some money back in there. Starting to rise a little bit. People are trying to revive Dogecoin, so we'll see if it works. I'll go ahead and look at Ethereum as well while I'm talking about coins. And it did shoot down a little bit. It was sitting at about 1,750 on June 26th. It's starting to shoot back up just like all the other cryptocurrencies at the moment. Sitting at about 2230 right now. It's been up about 25% in the past week. So Ethereum's starting to shoot back up, so it's great to see. Nothing else really to talk about at the moment, and should be able to talk about it here more later this week.
Nice. All right. Let's get into freeform here.
Got about 5 minutes to do so. Let's do it.
First topic: how to beat procrastination.
Oh God, I'm terrible at that. I procrastinate everything. Don't ask me. I couldn't tell you. I procrastinate to put my laundry away after I do. I procrastinate to do schoolwork when the school year's around. I couldn't tell you. Usually when it comes to like my jobs and everything, I'm pretty good at doing work. But like when it comes to like myself, I'm a procrastinator. So this isn't a question I can answer. I don't think you want opinions from a procrastinator.
I would say in terms of getting over procrastination, some of the things that you could do is definitely, make use of those to-do lists. Whenever you need to do something, write it down and stick it up somewhere where you're going to see
Make
it.
a calendar. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then not only that, but procrastination, and I think we've talked about this before, is also often a result of not setting your goals, right. In other words, shooting for something that's too big for you to realistically accomplish.
Yeah.
So we've talked about microtasking. So if something looks overwhelming to you, you're probably not going to do it. So, like, for instance, if your goal is to clean the entire house, you're probably not going to do it if you have a big house.
Yeah, right.
So you got to break that task down. Today, I'm going to clean the bathroom. Tomorrow, I'm going to clean the bedrooms. Next day, I'm going to clean the kitchen, and so on and so forth.
It's a good idea to go with, yeah.
Yeah.
That's something I do, kind of.
Yeah. Excuse me. And then another thing with regards to overcoming procrastination is finding ways to reward yourself when you do the things that you need to do. So, like, if I complete my to-do list today, I'm going to eat this bar of chocolate or something like that.
You're saying that to a fatty here, Pat. I don't know if I should set that goal to myself.
Well, I mean, just
Nah,
a little
hear
bit
ya.
of dark chocolate doesn't hurt you. A little bit of dark chocolate every.
That's good for you.
Yeah. Just like they say, like a little glass of red wine is good for the heart every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about moderation. Coffee is good for you if you drink just a cup in a day's time, or I think the max is like 2 or 3 cups in a day.
I usually, if I do drink coffee, it's 1 cup of it. So
Yeah.
I'm not a big coffee guy. When I go to Starbucks, I always get like frappuccinos and stuff. I don't really go. I sometimes, like, if it's cold or if it's like really, really early in the morning and I need to wake up, I'll get like a cappuccino or whatever or a mocha. But no, I usually get like frappuccinos.
Yeah.
Big Starbucks guy back when school hits around though. I always go to the Starbucks on campus and get sub.
Yeah, Starbucks is very popular around here. Because I mean, we get a Starbucks in the Dunbar Library, well, like a little mini Starbucks, and then of course we got the Starbucks next to campus as
Yep.
well. So yeah, we're a big Starbucks campus, that's for sure. Nothing else interesting in my list today. Let me go to another list here, see if I could find anything interesting to talk about. Well, we probably can't talk about alcohol while breastfeeding because none of us are women.
Yeah.
This is this is pretty interesting. There's some heat or debates going on about employers requiring their workers to go back into in-person work. How do you feel about that, Scotty? Requiring people to come back into in person?
Okay, so I feel like you should require workers to come back if they are fully vaccinated and everything. Because in my eyes, the way I took the vaccine is like if I took the vaccine, I shouldn't have to worry about COVID, right? Or at least worry about myself getting COVID.
At least in theory, yeah. We still have to worry
Exactly.
about mutations, but
Yeah.
as of right now, the vaccines cover all of the mutations.
That's what I'm saying. At the moment,
Mhm.
everything's perfectly fine by what the government says, everything on taking the vaccine, right? So if you're fully vaxxed, I mean, come to work, right? If you're not, then I feel like that stay-at-home option should still be available. I know for working at Cats when I go back, starting in the fall, I know we're still going to have that option for students.
hmm
If you still, like right now, we're still working remotely primarily, but when the semester starts, I mean, I'm pretty sure most people are going to go back to working in person because people are just lusting for in-person activities, right? In-person this, in-person that, because we're not used to it. But, no, I think that people who are fully vaxxed should go back to work. I feel like it's going to be more beneficial for their mental health. I feel like it would just be a great thing for the company as well to have more in-person work. Obviously, it makes people stay more productive as well. It helps the company, and it helps set a routine for the worker in my eyes. But no, if you're not fully vaxxed, I would recommend just staying at home and working remotely.
There's a topic here that I'm giggling about. How to date your roommate without ruining your shared house.
No comment. I've only had guy roommates, so heck no. At least this time.
No.
Nothing I'm experienced in.
There was one time I was rooming with a woman, but she was, well, not only was she taken, but she was definitely not my type.
I hear that.
And I got out of there because she was an animal neglector.
Oh God.
Yeah, don't go for those people.
Never would I ever, bro.
Yeah,
I hate people like that, man.
she did not know how to take care of her dog, that's for sure. So yeah, I got out of there. So it is the top of the hour. Time for the top of the hour ID break. And when we come back, we're going to get into our daily reflection segment. You are listening to the Rat Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to WWSU 106.
To the Right Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. Welcome back to the Rat Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM. We're going to get into the daily reflection segment now. This comes from tinybuddha.com. What I really mean when I say I'm fine. Spoiler, I'm not. And this is from Iva Ursano. And I think a lot of us can relate to that, where we tell people we're fine when we're really not.
No, I agree.
There's a quote from Paulo Coelho. Tears are words that need to be written. That's an interesting quote.
Yeah.
It was lovely to see you today. I haven't seen you in such a long time. So much has happened since the last time we saw each other. You asked me how I was, and I politely replied, I'm fine, and forced a smile that I hope would be believable. It must have worked. You smiled back and said, I'm so glad to hear that. You look great. But I'm not really fine. I haven't been fine for a very long time, and I wonder if I ever will know what fine actually feels like again. Some days are good, some are not so good. I'm doing my best to stay optimistic and keep faith that tomorrow will be better. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's worse. I'm never prepared for either outcome, and I'm doing my best to pretend that I'm fine. The mask I wear hides my pain very well. I've been wearing it for so long now that no one can see through it anymore. It's my new face and it smiles on demand. Some days I wish I didn't have to pretend to smile. I long for the day when it will come naturally, sincerely, and genuinely. When I say I'm fine, this is what I really mean. I'm sad. I'm having a really hard time right now. I wish I could tell you. I like to think that you might even care, and maybe you do truly care, but I don't want to tell you. I don't want to bother or burden anyone with my troubles. My troubles are big and ugly. I can't burden you with them. You're facing demons of your own. You don't need to be exposed to mine. That would be so selfish of me to think that your demons are not as important or debilitating as mine. So I just tell you I'm fine. I'm protecting you when I say I'm fine because I'm afraid my pain is just more toxicity. Sure, all of us can relate to that one where, we don't want to add on to what people already have to deal with in their lives.
I've been there. I know that.
Yeah. Continuing, I want to tell you my troubles. I want you to take them away. I wish someone could fix everything that hurts, though no one else can do that for me. I think there was supposed to be a no in there. I know no one else can do that for me.
Typo Tuesday, man.
That's like the fourth or fifth one we found
Probably
today.
more than that.
Still, I wonder, does everyone have all the answers to these questions that are pounding in my head and causing me grief and anxiety? Anyone? There's a tightness in my chest that won't go away. There's a darkness in the pit of my stomach that makes me nauseous. My shoulders feel weighted and my arms long for human touch, a body to wrap around tightly to comfort me and ensure me that everything will be okay. My troubles have completely consumed my life. Inside, I'm crying all the time. My soul is crushed and my heart is full of holes that I'm desperately trying to patch up the best I can. I'm full of anxiety inside, and no matter how hard I try to find peace, it eludes me. I feel there are a million demons inside of me, and I don't know which one needs my attention the most. So I ignore them all. It's too much for me to bear most days. When I say I'm fine, I really wish you could hear my inner voice screaming, I'm not fine and I need help. Please stay and talk to me, comfort me, help make this overwhelming pain stop. I want to say this to you, but I open my mouth and I'm fine comes out instead. I'm not really fine. I'm not sure how to handle today, and I fear what tomorrow will bring. It's constant anxiety. I wish it would go away if only for a day. I want to be fine, honest I do. One day I would love to sincerely tell you how fine I am, that all my anxieties, worries, and fears are gone, or at least less overpowering. That I walk with a skip in my step and a song in my heart. I want to feel that. I may have felt this once before a long time ago, but I don't really remember it. Every day I'm doing my best to smile and make the day better. I'm thinking positively. I'm taking big, deep breaths when I need to. I'm reading inspirational blogs and quotes. I'm even listening to guided meditations. Today I went shopping and bought myself something nice. I know, a temporary fix, but it worked. It all works for the moment, and then the moment is gone, and it all comes flooding back. All the turmoil, the anguish, the anxiety, the pain. I breathe deeply again, and I'm okay for a few more minutes. But for now, I'm doing my best. I know that everything in life is temporary, the good and the bad. Even life, it's all temporary. I could just get through today, I'll be fine. I'm doing my best to see the bright side. I could see it some days, but it doesn't take away the turmoil brewing inside of me. It only masks it with a Band-Aid, a temporary fix. Everything is just a temporary fix until I finally become brave enough to get to the bottom of my demons. I need to face them one at a time. I need to bring them to the surface, dust them off, address them, heal from them, and then let them go. This I know, but it's such a daunting task. Just thinking about doing this is overwhelming and causes me a great deal of anxiety. I know it's up to me to be able to say I'm fine and really mean it, and one day I will, when I feel strong enough to do so. But until then, I may say I'm fine when I'm really not, but I will try to find the courage to say, actually I'm sad, even though I know you don't have a magic wand to take all my troubles away. Maybe just opening up and letting you support me will help. Maybe if I stop painting a smile on my face and telling you I'm fine, really I am, one day soon, I will be. and that is written by Iva Ursano. So this is kind of like a relatable article, more so than uh, like an advice giving type of article. So how do you feel about it, and can you relate to it?
I mean, I definitely relate to it. I feel like it was a very well written article. I really like the part where she was like, "These fixes are temporary,"
Yeah,
because I've had moments in my life where I have felt kind of in a low or whatever, and I would go do something fun with the boys, and I'd feel great at the time, right? But then when you go home when you're by yourself, you're just kind of like stuck with your thoughts, right?
yeah.
And kind of catches up with you. So now I definitely understand where she's getting at, how she feels, etc. So it's definitely more on the relatable side than inspirational as we usually try to have here. But no, I'm glad we covered that. That was very relatable and cover some pretty good points in there as well.
Yeah, I know. I think there are. I'm not saying that putting on the "I'm fit, I'm fine" face all the time is a good idea. You definitely want to confront your inner demons at some point. But there are certain
Yeah, it's just gonna
situations.
build up, and then you'll have like a breakdown.
Yeah, there are certain situations though where putting on the "I'm fine" face works, at least temporarily in that situation. Of course,
Yeah,
you'll always want to come back to what's making you not fine at some point, but like, for instance, if I don't put on a happy face and say I'm fine to other people and let my problems drag me down, I'm never going to get anything done here at the radio station.
yeah, right.
So, there are moments where doing that can be beneficial as long as, you go back at some point to actually address what's keeping you down. So, you don't want to get stuck in that. I've been there, done that. You don't want to go there.
Most of us have been there, man. I
Yeah.
relate.
All right. I think we're going to go ahead and go into a Chicken Soup for the Soul story now. This one is from Chicken Soup for the Soul, Be You. Here's a quote from Stephanie Lahart. Always remember, you have a right to say no without having to explain yourself. Be at peace with your decisions. I never thought that something shared on Facebook would have the power to change my life. I was wrong. 17 words were all I needed. Photos of my grandbaby's latest exploits. Humorous cat memes and kitten shots. Pictures of what my friends ate for lunch. Video clips of people acting foolish. And don't forget the scrumptious recipes that I'll save yet never make. These are the things that I thought Facebook was for, and maybe a farm game or two.
Yeah, I remember back when I was a kid, I played all those Facebook games.
Or five. The dot, dot, dot at the end and then
Right.
turned into five. For years, that's how I spent too much time on this popular social media site. I could tell you the date I saw the words that had such a profound effect on my life, March 16, 2011. They're recorded in my journal. I was journaling almost daily during this period of time. 5 months earlier, I'd experienced sudden cardiac arrest and lived. I was on an airplane on the way to a conference, about 30 minutes from landing in San Francisco, and luckily for me, there were 3 doctors on board, one sitting immediately behind me. In less than a minute, I had medical care, oxygen, and a defibrillator. I survived, but months later, I was still trying to come to terms with what happened. Hence the daily journaling with my musings about life, its meaning, my purpose, and how I survived this incident. This particular March morning, I scrolled through my Facebook feed and saw a friend's post. She wrote, "Let go of anything inauthentic and all activities that do not mirror your brightest intentions for yourself." So again, since this article is surrounding this specific post, I'm going to read that again. Let go of anything inauthentic and all activities that do not mirror your brightest intentions for yourself. The words resonated in my soul. I jotted them down on a small scrap of paper lying on the computer and then logged off and went about my business. That post kept haunting me throughout the day. I knew my life at that point in time was not authentic. My activities did not mirror my brightest intentions. After several days of looking at these words and reflecting on them, I rewrote them on a clean piece of paper and taped it to my laptop. Curious as to the source of the words, I messaged my friend to ask where she gotten them, and She didn't remember. This was at the height of my farm game obsession. I, along with many of our friends, played, guess the game. You know what it is?
What is it? Is it called Farm City?
Farmville.
Farmville,
Yeah.
yeah.
But one little farm game was not enough for me. Oh my goodness, no. I needed more. More farms, more crops, more livestock. All in the virtual form, of course. I had 5 different farms and 5 different games.
Jeez. I'm telling you, man, it's the boomers that are on Facebook. I said it earlier. They got nothing better to do. They spend to play all those Facebook games, man.
I even scheduled my crops around my other activities if we were
God. This just gives me so many memories. I can't, man. This post had to have been made like in 2014. Come on. Or at least based around that time.
It was based around 2011.
Yep.
Yeah.
This makes complete sense then. Yep, okay. Continue, please. I just had to get that out of me.
If we were meeting friends for dinner, I'd set it for grapes, which would ripen in 4 hours. And while at dinner, I'd be checking my watch because I needed to get home in time to harvest the grapes. Wow.
So, my Lord.
I didn't want them withering and dying. That would be horrid. I'd have to delete the whole crop and start over.
Oh, my gosh. And these parents would always complain about us with our video games, man. I tell you what. And they're, my virtual crops are dying. Like, bro. Like,
you can't even eat them. What good are they?
It's boomers, man. Don't know what else
You
to
can't
say.
even make wine out. Well, you could probably make virtual wine, but that's not going
Yeah.
to do anything for you.
Yeah. Like I said, I used to play these games, but man, that's an obsession. I'm sorry. Ugh.
On a work day, I'd spend at least 2 hours farming my little acres of paradise.
Doing it at work, too. What?
On a
Come on. That is literally obsession.
No, wait, I'm not finished yet.
I don't
I'm
even
not
know if I can-
finished yet.
Pat, you might as well end it now. I'm going to flip out. All right.
On a day off, you know where this is going.
No, please no.
I dive deep into the farms, sometimes spending 4 hours or more working the soil, harvesting the crops to gain coins so I could plant more crops.
This is that chick that literally has unrealistic stats on Farmville. You're like, that has to be a robot. There's no way.
Or she paid for all of that.
That's true. That's another thing. Pay to win, and those Facebook games were really, really bad with it. There's literally no way this chick did not spend at least over $1,000 on it. If this is over the span of like a year or two, had to. No way in heck, man. Tell you what.
I added buildings and roads. I built fences up to keep my llamas contained, all with my little wireless mouse. One afternoon, I glanced down at the words taped on my keyboard. Then I looked up, and my eyes strayed to the keyboard view outside of the window. Here I was tapping away at the computer, planting and harvesting virtual crops for hours every day, while a half-acre lot outside my window lay fallow and untouched. How was that living an authentic life? How was this an activity that mirrored bright intentions? It wasn't. I stopped cold turkey that day. Farmerville and the other 4 farms were left to wither away, leaving chickens.
You let all
and
the animals die.
Yeah, you let all the virtual animals die. How could you?
And she cared that much.
I should get virtual PETA to go after you.
For real, man. That's abuse. That's literally animal neglect, man.
Virtual animal. Would be
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
They have virtual rights too.
Telling you, man.
Anyway, Farmville and other 4 farms were left to wither away, leaving chickens and llamas to fend for themselves, virtually.
Yeah.
The computer games weren't the only tasks to come under my newly awakened scrutiny. A birthday party for a friend? Absolutely. I was there in a flash. Spending time with friends was an authentic activity I wanted to cultivate. A baby shower on a Sunday afternoon for a coworker from a different department? No. That got nixed. Since we all worked most Saturdays, Sundays were family time. Although I liked the coworker whom the shower was for, I barely knew her. Time spent walking the dogs around the block, working in my newly claimed garden space, spending time creating a special gift for a long-time treasured friend. Those all passed the test. They were activities that mirrored my intentions and values. spending hours writing Christmas cards to people we never interacted with during the year, a New Year's Eve party with acquaintances we hardly knew, meeting someone I didn't really enjoy for coffee. Nope. They didn't measure up to how I wanted to spend my limited available time.
Yep.
I'm going to pause here and just mention, money is renewable. Time is not.
Yeah. No, I mean, no reason, in my opinion, no reason to make time for people you don't necessarily care about. I've had situations like that where people reach out and I'll be like, to be completely honest, I just don't want to hang out with you. You know what I mean? I'll be straight up. I'm not going to sit there and play the little, I'm doing this or that. And I'm going to be like straight up, like, we don't talk. Why are you even bothering me? Like, why are you trying to like even waste my time? You know what I hate? I hate when people always try to schedule something, and then you're like completely prepared, and then like they either just forget or just like it just cancel last minute. Man, I just hate that.
Something came up last minute that I need to take care of.
And I'm sitting there all ready.
I get like emergencies and things like that,
yeah.
or work related matters, like very important work related matters. That is, but. Oh, my other friend wants to meet me at that time. Sorry, I can't make it. No, you scheduled us first.
Yeah. I
Don't
always
do
hated
that,
bro. I'll tell you what. But no, like for me, I'm typically a straight up person. If I have a problem or whatever, I'll say it to your face. If someone reached out to me and was like, "Oh, let's catch up," and it's like, "Well, you never really bothered to talk to me at this point. Why all of a sudden at this specific time, right?"
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
What's your motivation? There's got to be something that's getting you to want to talk with me right now if we haven't done so previously.
Yeah, like what do you want, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you wanting from me, right?
Yeah, what do you want from me?
Yeah, no, that's a good thing she's doing that because it's in my opinion much more wise to spend your time with other people you love or care for and stuff you actually want to do rather than taking time out just to be nice, just to please someone else. Like if it's not a mutual thing, then don't do it.
Yeah, if you're not getting pleasure from it yourself, then don't waste your time. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like I said, time is not renewable. You only have a finite amount of time that you can spend in your life. Spend it wisely.
Yep.
So that phrase I'd copy from a Facebook post became a mirror I used to examine how I spend my time and energy. 17 words. That's all it took. And I'm going to read it once again in case if anybody missed it. If I can find it. Let go of anything inauthentic and all activities that do not mirror your brightest intentions for yourself. One little easy-to-use tool was all I needed to become a woman living a more authentic life filled with activities and people that enrich and fulfill me. And that was written by Trisha Fay.
Yeah, I thought it was a really, really well-written article there. Obviously, she fell into the boomer category on Facebook of literally what I talked about earlier with all the Facebook games.
Mm-hmm.
Farmville ain't new. My grandma, on my dad's side, I'm pretty sure that she played Farmville. Like, she used to be one of those ladies that would nonstop play those Facebook games, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, Grandma, it's like 2017. I know you're playing it on your iPad, but like, come on, like, how are these games even still going? Like, of course now you got all these apps that you can just play these like games on your phone and stuff, but one thing I've never understood is like with all these games is these all came from like Facebook games and all that, is the games where you have to wait just to get something to happen, right?
Or that's how pay to play works.
Yeah, and then you pay to make it go faster, or get these. You have your normal currency, then you have like your special currency. For example, you'll have
you
silver,
have coins, and then you have gems, and all that
like that. And it's just like, man, it is such a hole. And these people, I mean, no offense to them, but some people just don't have anything better to do and throw their money at that. And I'm just like, bro, really? But no, I'm glad that female there, she was able to kind of realize that she's just wasting time, wasting money on something that didn't truly matter. It's not like you're going to go down and Farmville history is the GOAT, right? Like, who the hell cares? You know what I mean? No, but nobody would care about that, right? No, do stuff you actually like benefit from, enjoy,
like building a real farm or a real garden. Like
build your own garden, like the grandparents I live with back home. During the summer they always tend their own garden and do all this and that and all that good stuff, right? They're not sitting there on Facebook games. You know,
Instead of planting virtual grapes, why not plant real grapes? Something that you can actually eat and enjoy.
I love grapes, bro.
Mhm.
But no, it's that was a good article. I'm glad put that out there. You know, pretty cool how she cold turkey to like that. I mean,
Yeah.
people get literally addicted to those games, man.
Oof. Yeah.
I've seen people like truly addicted. Like I said, when I was a kid, I messed around with those Facebook games just because like, you know, I was like 11, 12 at the time when I first got my Facebook account. I was just messing around. Excuse me. I had nothing better to do. I didn't really have. I don't think I had my PlayStation at my dad's house. I didn't really have video games much, so I put a little bit of time into it. But man, some people fall trapped to that stuff, man.
Yeah.
They really do. I feel bad for them. But at the same time, though, it's like, I mean, I understand, like, you work so hard and so long on, like, a game or whatever. Because I'm a gamer. I've worked hard for a lot of stuff. But, like, come on, man. It's just pay to win. I'm like, you're sitting here, and it takes, like, of course it tries to incorporate, like, real life time for real life, you know, factors, I guess, to make it seem more real. But it's all just a scam, bro. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's literally a scam.
I
I don't care what anybody says. It's literally a scam. Oh, you can speed it up by spending this. Oh, you don't have this many gems? Buy this deal. We have a special deal going on right now. It's like, dude, get out of my face, man. Like, I don't even want to be playing this game. I'm just trying to prove a point. You know, stuff like that.
I mean, I will say there are some games that I would argue have a beneficial value to them to play through them. Like, for instance, puzzle games. They help work your mind.
Okay, I do like Candy Crush.
Yeah.
I don't play it now, but I used to, and that's one game I was pretty cool with.
Some games that have like really deep backstories and teach, life lessons, those are really cool to work through.
Anything that's truly entertaining, I respect.
Yeah.
That stuff is, I'm sorry to say it. Sorry if I offend anybody, because I'm trying not to, but this is all from my perspective here. I mean, people that play those games are like zombies.
Yeah. And
do you agree with me?
What good do you get out of farming games when you could just
When you
plant
spend
your
a
own
year
thing?
and a half on this game just to be an average player, like an average user, but still be looked at as pretty solid compared to some who just play every once in a while, when you could play, like, do something more appeasing to your life, something actually more valuable.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know.
for instance, I used to get into some of the mobile games like Bejeweled and Tetris and things like
I
that.
have a couple mobile
But
games on my phone. I play when I'm on my bed.
yeah, but even for those games, I'd spend maybe 20 minutes max on them or something
Yeah,
like
right.
that. I'll play the daily challenge, and then maybe a regular game, and then I'll be done with it for the
Yeah,
day.
right. No, that's good.
Mhm.
I fell victim to not as hard as some people, but like I used to play those little Facebook games where you delay your time. I only played like a couple, but I played one called Dragon City. That was actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, but it's at the time as a kid I didn't have the money to like put towards it anyways. But no, now that I look back on it, I just see it's all just a scam. That's all it is.
Yeah. No.
Oh, it's a free game, but if you actually want to be God tier compared to every single person you play,
Gonna say,
you need to
like,
spend a few $100s on gems to speed up your stuff, buy
Yeah,
more
I
powerful
could-
animals, this and that. It's like
I can't stand games where pretty much the only way to get any sort of accomplishment or achievement is to pay and get, power ups and things like that.
No, I mean, even all these console games and PC games, a lot of them are becoming, well, it started to die down, but there was a giant period of just pay to win, pay to win, pay to win. And that's why I stopped being a gamer, honestly.
Yeah. If for me, games.
I can't even play Call of Duty anymore just because of it. I'm completely turned off by Call of Duty. I used to play that literally every single day from when I came home from school as a kid. I can't even touch it now just because of how disgusted I am.
Yeah. Like, if you want my respect for a for a premium or a freemium game,
Yeah.
one where like you could play for free, but there's things that you could get for pay if you pay them. Don't make it so that you have to pay to get, certain skills or accomplishments. Make it so that paying is for like cosmetics, like, you can unlock these clothings for your character. They do absolutely nothing in terms of your accomplishments.
look
You can
cool.
still complete the game and still get high scores, even if you don't pay.
You just have to know
You'll
life
just look
it.
cooler if you
Yeah.
pay them. Or pay to, unlock some sort of, I don't know, special message from the developer for supporting the game or something like that,
Who?
or
Let's be honest. Who would buy that? Nobody.
or a special autograph, or
If
like
any
if
of
it
my
was a
family
famous
members do
developer.
that, I would not associate with myself anymore. I'm sorry. I'm like, you spent $10 to get a message from the developer who probably posted this as a PR. Like, bro, chill.
I mean, like if it was a donation or something, I can understand that.
Oh
Like you're
yeah, yeah.
donate, and especially if it was an independent game as well.
Because a donation would go straight to the company. If you spend like the currency, it goes through a bunch of different things. Like Facebook gets
True.
money
Yeah.
out of it. The developer gets money, and then
The App Store gets money.
yeah, stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You've already heard me ramble on about it. The article, though, what we were talking about, no, it was really good. I'm glad she was able to just kind of cold turkey it all and start doing more productive stuff. That's
Yeah.
what I want more people to do. And honestly, as a society, I think we have been doing a better job of that. One of the only things we've been doing better at.
I think COVID has taught us a lesson about how valuable
Exactly.
doing those things are.
Doing anything. I mean, like I said, people are going to freak out when everything's back in person here on campus. Everyone's going to be happy. Everyone's going to be doing like more involved with stuff. I mean, on and on. I could go on and on, but
Yeah, because like prior to the COVID pandemic, we took for granted all of the opportunities we had to get involved, and then those were taken away from us when COVID hit, and then we realized, holy crap, I missed this.
I was used to being busy from when I woke up to when I went to bed every single day. And when it got taken away from me and I'm just sitting at home all the time, I just kind of, that's where a lot of my procrastination came from because I felt like I had nothing to do, but I had, schoolwork, work, and all this other stuff. But I wasn't leaving, getting active, etc. So I always felt like I didn't have anything to do. So now I'm extremely grateful that things are going back in person because I, like almost everybody else, I started to have more of an appreciation for in-person things and, basic human interaction just by being in person, think about it. A year ago from now, we weren't able to come in here in the live studio and do our shows. We all had to do it
Yeah.
remotely. We weren't able to basically be in here at all.
Yeah.
And I mean, I felt so great when I came back for my first time and what felt like forever. And I'm like, man, I feel like a completely different person, but it feels like it's been years and it's literally only been like a few months.
Yeah. It's so much different doing your radio show in the actual environment where you do radio shows compared to doing it remotely from your house.
I mean, I don't think I sounded bad doing it remotely because I had decent equipment, but at the same
Yeah.
time, though, you don't get that true vibe when you're in here.
Yeah.
With like so many other things, just when I go back to in-person classes, I'm just going to appreciate it way more
Mm-hmm.
because I personally learn a lot better being in person than I do online.
Same here, because you got
I think
that
that's most people.
you get that interaction with the professors and the classmates that you don't get when you're doing remote.
You can flirt around a little bit too with classmates. I'm not gonna lie,
That's not going to really help you get your degree, though. But
Yeah,
you could if you wanted to.
help you somewhere.
All right. On that note, we're going to go ahead and take a break because we want to save some time for our favorite segment, Trivia Tuesday.
The best day of the week.
So let's take our break, and when we come back, gather your friends and family around the radio because we're going to play some trivia. You're listening to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU 106.9 FM, affectionately known as the Raider Network now. We'll be right back.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people
Welcome back to the Wright Morning Show on WWSU Radio. Now joined through Discord is Laughing Chipmunk. How are you doing this morning?
I'm tired.
Yeah, so are we.
How are things going over there in West Virginia?
Oh, not bad. It's mostly sunny out. It's pretty.
Is it hot
I
like
just
it is
had,
here?
I don't know. I haven't even opened up my my windows or my doors, but I do have a baby praying mantis outside the living room window.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's like crawling on the screen. He's probably like about maybe 2 inches long. He's just a little guy. I took a picture of him.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into our trivia quiz of the day from funtrivia.com. It is camera day. So today's quiz is going to be exploring photography.
This will be fun.
First question. In 2003, the famous album cover of the Beatles' Abbey Road was altered so as to remove the cigarette from Paul McCartney's hand. Who took this action and why?
Oh, Jesus.
Apple Records, as they thought it would damage the image of the Beatles. The family of George Harrison, who had died of cancer just over a year before. U.S. postal companies, so as to not encourage smoking. Or Paul McCartney, as he wanted it to symbolize him quitting smoking. So got about 7 seconds left. What are your guesses?
We go with Apple Records.
I'm going with Apple Records as well. What do you think, Laughing Chima?
I'll take a wild guess and go with that too.
We're all wrong. It was the U.S. poster companies, so as to not encourage smoking.
Seems logical.
It turned out the U.S. poster companies had no authority to alter the image, which is owned by Apple Records. McCartney was not consulted about his action either. Many fans, including Ralph, were also unhappy about the change, as this picture had become one of the most iconic images of one of the most universally popular bands of all time. All of this fuss over a photo, which took just 10 minutes to arrange. Politically correct photo changers claimed another victim in the summer of 2010, airbrushing the cigar from an image of Winston Churchill, who stood at the Britain at War experience in London. The question was snapped up by Dumbledore, who surprised his teammates by showing he actually knows who the Beatles are. Next question. Not all photographic trickery is intended to be deceptive. Sometimes it is performed simply for entertainment. Of what genre was William Dad Martin a master at the start of the 20th century? Tall tale postcards, wedding albums, spectral photographs, or historical reenactments?
We go with spectral photographs.
So, of what genre was William Dad Martin a master at the start of the 20th century? Tall tale postcards, wedding albums, spectral photographs, or historical reenactments?
Spectral photographs.
I'm going to go wedding albums on this one. What do you think, Laughing Chipmunk?
I'll go with wedding albums.
We're all wrong again. It was tall tale postcards.
Come on, man.
Oh, geez.
Around the turn of the century, tall tale postcards featuring seemingly gigantic crops and animals became very popular. You know, the ones where a man stands behind an ear of corn twice his height and other such oddities? Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember seeing those now. Dad Martin was a pioneer in the art of photo faking, famed for his attention to detail and his ability to capture a sense of motion in his trick images. One titled I Finally Got Him shows a man apparently riding a large fish perched just behind his head. Most of the trick photos produced for postcards were much more static and clearly posed. They were still seen today in tourist shops around the world. Looney Tunes must admit to having purchased and sent some of these trick postcards as a youngster. Ralph is unshamedly fascinated by them. Next question. Ralph was shocked to discover that even famous landmarks are not safe from dastardly deeds. Which ancient structure was meddled with to create a better fit for the cover of National Geographic in February of 1982? The Great Wall of China, the Parthenon, the Colosseum, or the pyramids of Giza? So which ancient structure was meddled with to create a better fit for the cover of National Geographic in February 1982? The Great Wall of China, the Parthenon, the Colosseum, or the pyramids of Giza?
I'm gonna go with the pyramids of Giza.
I'm going with the pyramids as well. That sounds familiar to
I
me.
feel like I've seen it before. Yeah.
What do you think, Laffy Chipmunk?
No, I'll go with the pyramids too.
We all got one right.
There we go.
It was the pyramids.
I thought I remembered that.
Yeah, because I remember like they cut out a part of it, I think, or something like that. Let's see what it says. The picture, as it was taken, was a horizontal or landscape shot displaying 2 of 3 pyramids. National Geographic made use of a new technology, SkyText, which allowed for photographs to be digitized and then altered. To fit the vertical or portrait cover of the magazine, the pyramids were moved closer together. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, because they cut out a part of the empty space to make the pyramids appear closer.
Yep.
When the cover was criticized, the organization at first defended the manipulation, saying that the image could have been taken as it appeared had the photographer been in a slightly different position. This response was met with further outrage, and National Geographic later withdrew their defense and promised not to use the SkyText technology to make such altercations again. All right, next question. From the 2005 release of the Rolling Stones album Rarities 1971 to 2003, which of one of the original band members was digitally removed from the cover shot, a photo taken when he was still with the group? Who got erased? Bill Wyman, Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, or Charlie Watts? So in the album Rarities 1971 to 2003, one of the original band members was digitally removed from the cover shot. Who got erased? Bill Wyman, Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, or Charlie Watts?
I'm gonna go with Keith Richards on this one. I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm going to guess Mick Jagger. What do you think, Laffy Chipmunk?
I'll go with the last one.
What's the last one? I forgot.
Oh, Charlie Watts or whatever his name was.
That's right. We're all wrong again.
Jeez.
It was Bill Wyman.
Oh, jeez.
Bill Wyman was the bass player for the Rolling Stones from 1962 until his departure in December of 1992. Although he had played on most of the tracks, including in the compilation, as was in the original photo taken in 1978, it was decided that he should not appear on the album cover as he was no longer part of the group. In the original photograph, Bill could be seen standing in the background, visible between Mick and Keith's shoulders, when Charlie jumping to the left. Crazy. Next. In 1946, Margaret Bourke-White took a rare photograph of India's leader, Mahatma Gandhi, alongside the object that was to symbolize India's fight for independence. What was this object? A white cane, a statue of Buddha, a spinning wheel, or a bell? So Margaret Bourke-White took a rare photograph of India's leader, Mahatma Gandhi, alongside the object that was supposed to symbolize India's fight for independence. Was it a white cane, a statue of Buddha, a spinning wheel, or a bell?
I'm gonna go with the bell.
It's either a statue of Buddha or the bell. I'm going statue of Buddha on this one. What do you think, Laffy Chipmunk?
I'm going with the bell.
We're all wrong again.
Oh my lord!
Oh, jeez.
It was a spinning wheel. Gandhi and his spinning wheel is a photograph that almost did not happen. First, Gandhi's aides insisted that Margaret learn to use the wheel to fully appreciate its significance and why it needed to be in the picture. The Indian humidity caused grief to her equipment. The day of the shoot was Mahatma's day of silence, so she could not speak to him, and finally she was only allowed 3 flash bulbs due to the leader's aversion to bright lights. The first flash failed, the second worked, but Margaret had forgotten to use her slide, and the resulting shot was blank. Unfortunately, it all came together for the final shot, providing the world with one of the most captivating photos of a charismatic man. The spinning wheel symbolized Gandhi's goal of India becoming self-reliant, urging the people to make their own clothing. Interesting. Next one. Who shot ya? Ian Witherell died, or Ian Witherell did in 1934, but it was a lie. Which mythical creature was the subject of his picture that became known as the surgeon's photograph? Was it the Theodis Lake Monster, the Loch Ness Monster, the Bear Lake Monster, or Agapogo? Ian Witherell did in 1934, which I think it was supposed to say died, but it was a lie. Which mythical creature was the subject of his picture that became known as the surgeon's photograph? I'm going Loch Ness Monster on this one. What do you think?
What was that bear one or whatever? The bearnik?
The bear, yeah, the bear Nick Monster.
That's
or
what I'm
something like
going with.
What do you think, Life Chipmunk?
I'm going with Loch Ness.
Myself and Life Chipmunk got this one.
Yeah, okay.
That was an obvious one.
I figured it was too obvious. That's why I didn't go with it. Come on, man.
That's the only famous monster that I know of.
I mean, I listen to a lot of creepypasta stories, so I know of a lot of different ones. But no, I thought it was too obvious. That's why I was like, oh, it's probably not that.
The Loch Ness Monster. Sightings of Nessie date back as far as 565, but it was Witherell's picture that inspired a wave of sightings, searches, and a tourism boon for Scotland that was worth millions of dollars. In 1994, Christian Sperling, a model maker, admitted to creating the fake monster in association with his stepfather, Marmaduke Wetherell. The details of the deception were detailed in the 1999 book Nessie, the Surgeon's Photograph Exposed by D.M. Martin and Boyd. I think sometimes that it's not so fake after all. Maybe there is a Loch Ness Monster out there.
There's a lot of things that could be real.
Next, Patrick DeMarchelier shot ya. Which pop diva did he photograph for a 1993 issue of Rolling Stones magazine with her breast covered by a pair of anonymous hands reaching out from behind her?
I think I've seen this.
Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston, Madonna, or Britney Spears? Which pop diva did he photograph, Patrick DeMarchelier, that is, for a 1993 issue of Rolling Stone magazine with her breasts covered by a pair of anonymous hands reaching out from behind her? Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston, Madonna, or Britney Spears?
Is it Madonna?
I think it might be Madonna. I'm going to go with Madonna as well. What do you think, Laffy Chipmunk?
I'm going to go with Janet Jackson.
Laffy Chipmunk got this one. It was
I wasn't even born then. Come on. This is unfair.
Yeah. In what was to become the most iconic pop photograph in the 1990s, this audacious shoot was described as the coming of age for Janet Jackson, witnessing her move from austere to ecstatic. The picture, which appeared on the cover of Rolling Stone's September 16, 1993, is said to capture her abilities as both role model and sex symbol in the same breath. But no, the hands did not belong to some Fortnite photographer's assistant. They were those of her husband, Rene Elizondo Jr. Next, which of these men was a skilled photographer most noted for his glorious black and white photos of the western part of the United States, including Yosemite National Park? Paul Strand, Georgia O'Keeffe, Imogen Cunningham, or Ansel Adams? Which of these men was a skilled photographer most noted for his glorious black and white photos of the western part of the U.S., including Yosemite National Park? Or Yosemite.
Yosemite?
Yeah. Paul Strand, Georgia O'Keeffe, Imogen Cunningham, or Ansel Adams?
Go with Ansel Adams on this one. I have absolutely no clue. As you can see, I only got one right.
I went with Georgia O'Keeffe. What do you think, Laffy Chipmunk?
I have no idea. I really don't.
Make a guess.
I don't know.
She's going with Ansel Adams with me.
Yeah.
All right, you both got it.
Hey,
It was
there we go. I got
Ansel
you.
Adams.
I got you, Chipmunk. I got you.
They were previously conservationist and photographer known for his spectacular black and white photos of the American West, especially Yosemite National Park. He preferred a large format camera because of the clarity of photographs produced. His world-renowned photos became a centerpiece in the development of the Museum of Modern Art's permanent photography exhibit. Next question. What was the first war to be captured on camera? The War of 1812, the Mexican-American War, the American Revolution, or the Crimean War? Which war was first to be captured on camera? The War of 1812, the Mexican-American War, the American Revolution, or the Crimean War?
Man, what was it?
I don't know. I'm going with the War of 1812 because that's the only one I'm familiar with.
Go with the Mexican-American War.
What do you think, Laughing Chipmunk?
I'm going to go with the Mexican-American War.
You both got it.
Hey, there we go. I'm on a roll now.
The oldest war photos are from the Mexican-American War in 1847. These are posed photos that were taken with the daguerreotype, which had a long development time and required the persons being photographed to stand perfectly still for numerous minutes. They were also incapable of taking any kind of action photography. Final question for this quiz. Released in 1960, the 35mm self-contained underwater Calypso-Phot camera was conceived by which of the following men? Pierre de Coubertin, Jacques-Yves Cousteau, Alexander Gustave Eiffel, or Charles Julius Guital?
We go with the one that has the hard name to pronounce, right? I'll just go with Alexander. That's the only one I could remember, and I have absolutely no clue.
What do you think, Laughing Chipmunk?
I'm going to go with Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah, it was Jacques Cousteau. It might not surprise you, and that's the one I went with as well.
Oh, yeah, you didn't even say it, Pat.
What?
I didn't hear you say it, man. All right. I'll take your word for it, though, man.
Pat's cheating.
He said it, but he didn't pronounce it.
I didn't say it correctly. Yeah. Jacques-Yves Cousteau, or yeah, I don't even know how to pronounce that name.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Cousteau, I think.
Cousteau.
Yeah.
Helped design one of the first practical underwater cameras. While the first underwater photograph was taken in 1856 by mounting a camera on a stick and holding it under the water, practical underwater photography took another 100 years to master. All right, we have time for another quiz. Do you want to do 10 easy questions, or a quiz about general knowledge?
Let's do general knowledge.
All right, general knowledge it is. First question, bless you.
Man.
What are the axes of a 3D Cartesian graph most commonly called? ABC, XYZ, 1, 2, 3, or LWH? I think it's XYZ.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. What do you think, Laughing Chipmunk?
XYZ. Yeah.
XYZ.
All right. We have plenty of time left on this clock.
With the way they worded that graph, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, the axes of a 3D Cartesian graph, most commonly ABC, XYZ, 1, 2, 3, or LWH.
XYZ.
Oh, but it could be LWH too if you think about it.
No.
Length, width, and height. It could be that.
I'm not
but
going
we
with
are
it.
all XYZ was the correct answer.
It's the graph I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of as well. So we all got that one, XYZ. But realistically, it could be LWH too if you think about it. Length, width, and height. But that's more for geography rather than planes. Like, shape. I'm sorry, geometry.
Yeah.
Not geography.
Finding like the surface area and all that stuff.
What area of science covers the study of living organisms? Is that chemistry, biology, archaeology, or physics?
Biology.
This is too easy. It's biology.
Biology.
This is a little too easy, man.
I think we should have gone with the other one. And there's only 5 questions in this quiz, too.
Sorry, we'll have time to hit the other one.
We got 10 seconds for those of you listening in if you want to lock in your answers. What area of science covers the study of living organisms? Chemistry, biology, archaeology, or physics? Got just a couple of seconds left on the clock, and the answer is biology.
There we go.
All right. Question number 3. During what decades did World War II take place? 1880s and 1890s, 1930s and 1940s, 1910s and 1920s, or 1950s and 1960s?
30s and 40s.
Say World War II.
Yeah, World War II.
Was it that early?
I think it was,
my dad served in the army.
19,
because it was pretty immediate
1930s.
after. Yeah, I agree.
All right. Time is up. The answer is 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
We all got that one.
I was sitting here thinking I was too early at first.
Yeah. The war started in 1939 and ended in 1945.
I'm not a history major, by the way.
Me either. But yeah, as soon as Laffy Chipmunk mentioned that my grandparents were involved and they were not born until the 1920s, then I realized, oh, it can't be the 19 teens and 1920s because they
Yeah.
weren't born yet. Next question. Who worked on the incandescent light bulb with his team at Menlo Park? Benjamin Franklin, Michelangelo, Donald Trump,
Jeez.
or Thomas Edison?
Ain't that old.
Who worked on the incandescent light bulb with his team at Menlo Park? Benjamin Franklin, Michelangelo, Donald Trump, or Thomas Edison? I'm going to go.
I'll go with
I think it's
Edison.
Edison. Yeah, I think it's Edison because Franklin was responsible for electricity, but
Yeah.
not the light bulb.
Edison's the light bulb, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Let's see what the answer is. And the answer is Edison. Yeah,
Yep.
we all got that one. Next, we have approximately what number is pi equal to? 3.28, 4.56, 3.14, or 2.14?
3.14 continues.
Yeah. 3.14.
Just give it here. I already know I'm right, Pat.
What do you think, Laughing Chipmunk?
3.14. Even I know that.
But can you name the next 8 digits after that?
No.
3.141592653 or 654 if you round up on a calculator.
Pat, why are you so smart?
Well, there's plenty of people who know more digits than I do, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
The only reason I know is because a calculator has 10 digits and I just memorize the number from the calculator.
Bro, I haven't touched a calculator in a minute.
Yeah. So the answer is 3.14. Let us tally up our scores, shall
I'm
we?
pretty sure we're tied.
No, we're not. I'm
You
the
sure?
loser here. I'm pretty sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I got 8.
I got 8 as well.
Oh, we are tied. But I think Laughing Chipmunk is the
Laughing
winner.
Chipmunk, I think this is the winner, yeah.
Laughing Chipmunk got 11.
Oh, my.
I did?
Yeah,
How the heck did I do that?
I don't know.
You killed us
But
today.
Laughing Chipmunk's the winner today of Trivia Tuesday. Congratulations.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So we are going to conclude our show with another check of the weather. The current weather is mostly clear and 88 degrees at Wright State University, according to tomorrow.io. The forecast for today calls for mostly clear skies up until about 2 p.m., and then some clouds are going to roll in with a chance of thunderstorms developing, especially this evening. Tomorrow.io is forecasting some rain around 8 p.m. The temperatures are going to reach 90 degrees by 12 p.m. 93 will be our high at 5 p.m., and then it's going to start cooling off after 7 p.m., mainly because of the rain, according to tomorrow.io. We'll see about that. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today to today's edition of the Rat Morning Show. Tomorrow is Weird Wednesday, so stick around for tomorrow's edition as we cover weird news stories and maybe some improv games as well. Who
That's
knows?
pretty funny, fun and wacky, right?
Yeah, I might try and get Don Smith to pre-record for tomorrow's show for the Weird Wednesday, so we'll have him and his funny stories on. So we'll see. Thank you, everybody, for making us a part of your morning. We're here every morning, weekday morning, that is, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on WWSU. Thank you, Scotty, for coming on today. Thank you, Laffy Chipmunk, for coming on as well.
Been good as always,
Thank
man.
you, too.
And we will see you tomorrow. Take care and have a great day.
You are now listening to WWSU 106.9 FM, Fairborn, Dayton, Dayton's right choice.